Hello, welcome to the series where I play through a title and let you know if it's worth or not. What you need to know is Hogwarts Legacy is an action role-playing game being developed by Avalanche Software and published by Warner Bros. Games under its Portkey Games label. Set in the wizarding world that we're all familiar with, but taking place before the events of the Harry Potter novels. Released on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC on February 10th, with a planned Nintendo Switch release sometime in the near future. The base price is $80 Canadian without tax, with a deluxe edition for $10 more, which includes a mount, cosmetic skins, and access to the Dark Arts Battle Arena. Now what I want you to know is, it's very obvious that it was made with much consideration in mind for controller players, as it has the best experience and flow with a controller. There is one major flaw in the settings. There is no exclusive full screen. It's giving false hope with Clippy's full screen and windowed options, tooltip, but are slapped with windowed or windowed full screen, which is just borderless windowed. Now I won't point fingers and say this may be one of the many causes of problems with Hogwarts suffering with performance issues, but they only recommend a 1080 Ti for 1080p 60 for high quality settings. Not to brag, but I'm fairly over these requirements and I still have the stuttering, frame drops, and other random issues, though the game is still playable. You may not have similar issues, but all we can hope is they patch these sooner than never. If you do have issues, there's one mod I've used to help me out a lot, which I'll put the link for in the description below. Graphically, the game is gorgeous, and they absolutely nailed the Wizarding World aesthetic. I love the dark, grimy, gloomy, gothic nature of the game. The attention to detail is also very admirable, from the floor up to the ceiling. Almost every room feels alive, from the vast majority of books, bookshelves, and more floating books.
Knowledge.
I do wonder how there is so much detail, yet every single mirror in Hogwarts is completely broken. Why put a mirror at facial height if you're going to ruin my immersion by calling me a vampire or straight up ugly? Oh, there's also one more detail that bothered me more than anything, and that is chairs. You sit, I sit, they all sit. Yet out of the who knows amount of chairs in the world, you are not allowed to take a seat in any. In the room of requirements, the room shifts and shapes into what you need most, and lo and behold, it comes with a chair. My poor witch is tired. Let her rest. I'd like to sit on my oversized throne chairs. Thank you. The only time you technically get a break in the whole game is when your character gets out of bed to start their day, which is only a few times. Now the most impressive detail to me has to be how seamless you are able to not only spawn, but walk through all of these realm portals. Very, very clean. The sound department deserves some love too. I love the amount of random ambient sounds they throw around the universe. Every small thing you can see move within a room has a sound bit for it. The soundtrack is incredible, which makes the game even more immersive and magical. Huge props to the composer and the orchestra for creating such masterpieces. The story goes as follows. You're a student at Hogwarts in the 1800s. You hold the key to an ancient secret that threatens to tear the wizarding world apart. You're the chosen one who possesses the unusual ability to perceive and master ancient magic, which you use on your dangerous journey to uncover the hidden truth of the wizarding world. Quite simple to grasp and follow along. The main story itself is very immersive and pulls you right in, which is great, as there is so much side content you will get lost trying to progress. Whether you walk or fast travel to your desired destination, you'll pass side quests, collectibles, puzzles, and other random things to interact with. And you can't even forget about having to travel back and forth to identify and sell all the gear you obtain, while suffering with a full inventory at almost all times. I'm the type of person who usually focuses on main story first and foremost, and will go back and finish all side content after. This is the first title that made it almost impossible to not get distracted or do other things. I loved it. Let's talk about combat. At first it's fairly simple, as all games usually are. You spam right trigger, which is your attack, with the occasional block or dodge. As you progress deeper into the world, you learn extra spells, potions, and plants. Yes, plant warfare. Your spells are categorized by colors. Red is hot, yellow is floaty, purple is pushy grabby, and so forth. This becomes important later on when the enemies you face shield themselves with a color of magic you must now use against them. I'm not going to say it becomes stale, but you do get to a point where you can sort of just spam your way through regardless of difficulty. I recommend thinking more outside the box while in the later parts of the game. The replayability is technically there. The game is fairly addicting and time flies when you're playing it, but once you beat the main story, the only way to progress past is completing your journal, which is completing pretty much everything else in the game for the true ending. Once you've completed the game, I don't see why you'd replay unless you crave the atmosphere or return years later for nostalgic purposes. It was confirmed that the developers have no current plans to release additional content for the game, which is overall an amazing thing. I miss the days games would release as a finished product, and that's that. However, I do hope they are or currently plan to do a huge performance patch to solve all the current optimization problems they have. Overall, the game is absolutely brilliant. You do not have to be a Harry Potter's fan to enjoy Hogwarts Legacy, or to understand the story. If you are a fan, you'll obviously catch the details and references. If you're not a fan, you have a fairly large world to explore, full of story, threats, puzzles, friends, and magical beasts to claim as your own. I'm optimistic by the time you've watched this video, the game will be in a much better state, and if not, you know what to expect. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the game or the review down below. To pulse the sub button, and until next time, take care.